that you got to be a little mental, I think, to do what I did. I don't want to like sound crazy, but you have to be a little fucked up. The fucking mindset of like getting up every day and pushing yourself. And you're eating 12 to 16 ounces of meat and 100 to 150 grams of carbs every meal, and you're doing that 7 times, and you do it day in, day out. You got to have a very simple mindset. You can't be social. You can't be out doing a lot of other activities. So you put on the blinders and you have tunnel vision on what that ultimate goal is. I was always on track with everything. Everything was structured. I lived in a fucking box in order to be the best, meaning I had no outside. People would call me with their problems, I'd hang up on them. Like the phones were off. Don't bother me with negative shit. And I just went at it. Like that's all I cared about. Like, that was what my life was like. It was like go full fucking throttle every day. That discipline was there. I always tell everyone it wasn't about the body, it was about the mind at first. But I trained my ass off. For me, I just love to train. Like that's what separated me from like most guys. There was times where I almost passed out training. I'm lunging with 225 on my back in the parking lot, and I remember just like, okay, no one else is doing this, so I'm gonna do it. And that was my mindset. That was how I like mind fucked everybody else. So I used to train in the middle of the night because no one else was doing it. And so people were like, man, is that the secret? Is that what Jay has to do? Is that what we have to do? And I did it almost to kind of like play mind games with the other guys.
Only the crazy people come out this time. It's cardio time.
But I was also a beast. I was known as a so-called mass monster. I was also stubborn as hell, right? I was told I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. I was told I wouldn't be a good pro. I was told I'd never turn pro, never win the Olympia, never win it more than once. After I lost it, they said that I'd come back and win it again. So I think a lot of that's a little ego too. You have to have a little ego to be able to do what I do and be great at it. You got to do what's your passion. Otherwise, you're never going to succeed at it. You're never going to stay with it. You're never going to commit to it, and you're never going to give your full ability towards that goal.
I'll say this without arrogance. Jay Cutler's the greatest bodybuilder of all time. I never had a lot of self-doubt. People look at his arrogance, and I'm just so confident that maybe sometimes I come off as that, but I've been knocked out enough times and came back from it that I just never gave up, and I always believed in myself. And I was so disciplined, man. There was no bodybuilder on this fucking planet that was more disciplined than I was at that time. I felt like a fucking machine.
Keep going. Sounds like an excuse. You're breathing right now.
Exactly. You would be dead if you couldn't breathe.
Two more. Same as me.
2 more.
Separate yourself from the rest.
This is my town, my home, my place.
It takes a lot of time, but I'm dedicated. And
I was just so young and just I was so naive. I really didn't know much about anything. I really didn't know how to pose. I really didn't know anything, but I had the physique, I had the structure. And once I learned how to eat